Hi everybody, welcome to the final lesson of Coffee Culture Around the World from Sagebrush Coffee. Today we'll wrap up our world tour of coffee culture in North America. We learned in our first lesson that coffee came over to North America in 1668. It was first introduced to the American colonies on the East Coast by travelers from Europe. Tea remained in higher popularity for almost 100 years after coffee was introduced to the American colonies. Finally, after the Boston Tea Party in 1773, which acted as a spark to the American Revolution and helped colonies gain their independence from Britain, coffee rose in popularity. During this time, it was seen as a patriotic drink and was served alongside liquor in bars and taverns. One of these taverns was the Green Dragon Tavern, which was referred to as the headquarters of the Revolution. We also learned in Lesson 1 that the Tontine Coffee House opened its doors in New York City in 1793 and eventually created the foundation for the New York Stock Exchange. This wasn't the only coffee house in New York doing big things. Merchants Coffee House was a hub for patriots and merchants alike. These patrons eventually created the Bank of New York and the New York Chamber of Commerce within its walls. As coffee began to gain popularity in the United States, people wanted to have the ability to drink coffee at home. At first, people just bought coffee like any other raw good such as flour or sugar. They bought it green, brought it home, and roasted it themselves. In the early 1900s, instant coffee was introduced to the United States, which was sold pre-ground in metal tins. People enjoyed the convenience of this type of coffee, and it was used by many soldiers during World War I. Due to the war, though, continuing to sell coffee in metal tins was unattainable, so they switched to using paper and fiber bags. Different types of coffee packaging were used throughout the 1900s, and efforts were made to preserve the freshness of both whole bean and pre-ground coffee in the variety of packages that were being used. In 1992, the Keurig K-Cup was invented, which introduced yet another type of coffee packaging, single use. If you go to the grocery store today, you'll see a little bit of everything when it comes to the packaging of at-home coffee. Although people started to make coffee at home, coffee shops and houses still remained popular in the United States and Canada. As I mentioned in Lesson 1, Alfred Peach, a Dutch-American roaster, opened up a coffee house in Berkeley, California in the 1950s. He worked to improve the quality of drinks served in his shop and to teach his newly discovered methods to others as well. Alfred Pete's business, Pete's Coffee, is still running and well known today with a little over 300 locations in the United States. Others started to follow in Pete's footsteps by opening up coffee shops that would become nationwide and even worldwide chains. Gordon Bowker, Jerry Baldwin, and Zev Siegel were three of Alfred Pete's students who would go on to open Starbucks. John Puckett would open Caribou Coffee, which is largely based in the Midwest region of the United States. Joth Rickey would open Dutch Bros, the famous drive-through coffee chain, and Tim Horton and Ron Joyce would open Tim Hortons, the biggest coffee chain in Canada. In addition to these large chains, small coffee shops and roasteries like Sagebrush have also been essential to the North American coffee culture. I started my personal coffee journey working at a small coffee shop in rural Wisconsin called Mugs. From my time working there, and now that I've moved to Arizona and started working at Sagebrush, I have gained such a deep appreciation for these local coffee shops and roasteries. Whenever I travel, either within the United States or to other countries, I try to scope out different local shops and try their coffee and learn a little bit about their story. The recent development of social media makes learning about coffee and discovering different players in the industry even easier. Thank you for watching Coffee Culture Around the World from Sagebrush Coffee. If you love coffee as much as I do and want to learn more, go check out our other coffee courses on our website and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. I'm Kourtney, and I've loved sharing my passion for coffee with all of you. If you're ever in the Phoenix metro area, be sure to stop by our shop in Chandler, and I hope to see you there. Bye!